NBA season is here, and NBA King of the Court is now on Tuesdays, which is very convenient for this program. Dave, explain exactly what this is and how we're going to attack it.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely up there with some of the best promos in sports betting. These jackpot style promos that seem to have become more popular over the past year or so, and I think they're the best, really some of the best ones out there because you're placing a bet. They're almost always a really minimum $5 upfront wager, which is what it is for DraftKings King of the Court, and you don't even need to win the bet to win the jackpot, which is ideal. So you can take a nice long shot with upside. You kind of almost have like it's not quite a no sweat, but you have this secondary option for a win. And you have so many options to choose from. You can look at matchups, you can look at upside, you can look at injury situations, opportunities, take long shots. Some of these bonus bets last year ranged from, I think, about $30 at the lowest for Giannis one night, and then I think it was 6,000 something when it was Jamal Murray one night. Many of them were in the $200 to $1,000 range. So, it's not always a big name. There's somebody lurking out there. It's the NBA. It's, any given night, it can be anybody who goes off. Tuesdays should be a smaller slate than on Wednesdays last year. So it should be maybe a little easier to narrow down the top guys. But anyway, yeah, you bet $5 on a guy. Any player prop market like points, threes, assists, rebounds, etc., using your King of the Court token on that bet. If that player leads all players that night in total PRA, points, rebounds, and assists, you and everyone who picked them will split a $1 million bonus bet pool, which you can then use on any wagers you desire. So a lot of upside for a pretty low risk swing as far as promos go. And since it's on Tuesdays, we'll be able to take a few looks. Each week we'll look at our top overall projections for these guys as the most obvious targets that are probably going to be the most obvious plays. And then one or two long shots we'll come up with for maybe a little upside to try and net a bigger bonus bet return. And we'll leave that up to you guys for, who you want to bet. We'll just try and guide you with a few targets and, leave the rest to you. So I'll pull up our projections here from the NBA Hub so we can just take a look. And we'll use those to kind of look at the top three and then go from there. Unsurprisingly, top guys are Giannis, SGA, followed shortly by LaMelo Ball. Giannis is at 50.7 PRA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is 42.3, and LaMelo Ball 40.4. All three of these guys won at least once last year. Like I said, I think $29 for the lowest Giannis one. He won twice. I think it was around $60-something the second time. It was $85 for SGA and $1,027 bonus bet for LaMelo. So certainly the upside, I think you would say, for bonus bets of these top three is LaMelo. Of these three, he would certainly be the least popular, I would think. Regarding his matchup, he plays the Heat, who have a top 10 scoring defense, but have allowed the 10th most rebounds per game. That's independent of position. But Melo did just tally 10 and 13 boards in back-to-back games, 64 PRA in his last game. So, I mean, he's hot for a first few games of the season and has been grabbing more rebounds, I think, than he usually does in what could be a potentially good rebounding matchup. A couple long shot guys then that I would look at. I mean, Tyrese Maxey here, I wouldn't call him maybe a long shot. He's fourth here, but certainly outside the range of these top three, and he's under 40 PRA at 38.4. But he's the top projected scorer in this game, so that gives you the upside. You want the scoring upside too. Rebounds and assists are integral to cashing this with somebody, but you need the scoring upside as that's where the bulk of the volume is always going to come from. But he's dropped 40 twice this season, 55 PRA last game. That was last night, so he's on a back-to-back. But the Wizards allow the fourth most points per game and are the Wizards, so good spot for him. We have VJ Edgecombe not too far down here, but fewer points. So, more of a hill to climb, I guess, although we've already seen his incredible upside on night one of this season. And then one other guy I think worth a look for a long shot is James Harden down here. He's our 12th PRA total, 32.5. Warriors allow the second most assists so far. We know that's kind of Harden's bread and butter, at least as far as stat stuffing. Warriors have also allowed over 130 points in 2 games or on a back-to-back. Is it going to be enough to top guys like Giannis and SGA? I don't know. Maybe not, but you could do worse than a long shot here. That is one thing to consider. You might have a guy in the perfect spot, but he has to, climb the mountain that is Giannis or SGA to truly put in the top PRA total. But that's what you're doing here. You're taking a long shot. I don't know how many Tuesdays they'll do this season. I think we had about 20 King of the Court runs last year, so almost every week. And we should get quite a few this year, quite a few opportunities to go after it. You'll probably find something that looks a bit like this graphic week to week on our socials that features a couple of our top projected guys, a couple long shot plays for you to look at. But we're going to try and guide you to some bonus bet victories week to week here.
Boom. I love it. Yeah, it's a good plug too. Make sure you follow us on social. Dimers.com on Twitter so you can get everything that we're tweeting out. We can share a lot of good stuff, honestly. Like when I used to work full-time at Dimers, it was like NFL Sundays were like must follows. You wake up in the morning and I'd have like 7 different pieces of content ready for how we were going to bet the day, and you'd come back at the end and usually find some winners. So reminder, this is a 7 days a week type thing here at Dimers. We are always looking for whatever the appropriate way to attack the sports slate is. King of the Court is one of the most fun promos to do it. So show us some love on socials. Make sure you don't miss anything that we push out. Appreciate you, Dave. Those are good shouts. I think Tyrese Maxey is my personal play tonight.
That's what I'm going to do, I think.
I'm liking Max.